So I am an archive admin for a project called Ubuntu, and we're quite a large archive, and lots of people upload their software to us so that Ubuntu can distribute that software. Whenever a new package gets uploaded, it has to be manually reviewed by an archive admin in order to make sure that it's sane and that it's legal to distribute. And otherwise we reject it. And it's quite a very disempowering process, because as a software developer, why are you waiting for us to do it, which is why I started Neon. But this is the old school way that Ubuntu still does, Debian does it, and I'm pretty sure other distros must do something similar. So why do we reject packages? Top 10 reasons. At number 10, excessive linting errors and warnings. Debian packaging has a tool called linting, and that checks it for common mistakes, so files in the wrong place, typos here and there. And if there's too many of them and somebody uploads their bit of software to that, then we reject it, because that will be bad. At number 9, stuff being in the wrong path. So if it installs into /opt, then that's not compliant with Debian policy, which specifies how the packages have to look. Or stuff can just be installed straight into /something, and that's not compliant. And so if your software does that, then we'll kick you out. At number 8, incorrect watch files. Debian packages have a watch file which says where can you find new releases of this software, and that will look on a web page or an FTP site, and it will look for new versions. And surprisingly, commonly the watch files are wrong, or the packages that get put on those FTP servers are inconsistently named or inconsistently numbered, so the watch file doesn't actually work. So if you release software, make sure you release it in a sensible way with a consistent naming numbering scheme. Number 7, auto-generated source format. Oh, this is a bit technical. So if you know your Debian packaging, they had a new version 3.0 in recent years, and that will automatically add a patch if there's some difference in the packaging compared to the original tarball. And if that happens, then we reject it, because we don't want magically added patches. We want sensibly added patches. Number 6. Very often people will release a program, release their source code, but include the revision control inside that, which is just a waste of resources apart from anything, and is unnecessary. So whenever you release code, make sure you remove the .git or whatever. At number 5, not respecting feature UI final freeze. So Ubuntu has this regular 6-month cycle, and it's got this old school style freeze where after a month or so before the release, you can't add new features, and then a couple of weeks you can't add anything at all without approval. So if people upload things on the wrong time, then that's when we have to reject it and say come back in a few months. As I say, old school, you won't get that in Neon. Empty binary packages. So surprisingly often people upload packages and they compile or something, and then for some reason what it spits out is just an empty package that doesn't contain any files. So if you ever do packaging for your software, make sure that it actually ships the files that get built. At number 3, files not in preferred modifiable form. So that's freedom, and of course we have to make sure that everything is correctly licensed, but also that you can actually modify it, because otherwise it doesn't count. So if you ship a PDF file, it's not per modifiable form, we'll kick it out. If you ship minified JavaScript is crazy popular these days. Everyone wants to include jQuery or something, and they want to include a minified version of it, and they go, well, that's just still source code. I can still, I can see the if statements in there, so that must be source code. So then we kick it out, because it's minified, it's not preferred modifiable form, so that's not real free software. Number 2, no upstream license. So everything has to be licensed, and funnily enough, people quite often forget to include a license with their source code, either explicitly or implicitly, and people somehow often forget about it and go, yeah, that's GPL or something, but then we go, well, it doesn't say it's GPL anywhere. You have to actually include that, but you also have to include, is it GPL 2 or 3, or is it LGPL, or Creative Commons very guilty of this, because there's so many different variants of Creative Commons, different versions and different licenses, that people say, oh yeah, it's Creative Commons, that's fine, but then is it the wrong one? So yes, you have to make sure you include the actual license. And at number 1, Debian copyright does not match reality. Every package has to include Debian copyright, and it has to match what the upstream license actually says. Thank you.